Right, starting a guard tier list. It's pretty self-explanatory what the tiers are. I've already started with the first one, Kenny and Castellan, definitely 80. He's pretty good. Attaches to like all your battle line infantry. I don't know if he attaches to Krieg, he might not do, but he attaches to Kazakin as well, which is really, I think that's insane in mech, because in mechanized you want like your Kazakin to punch up and be damaging like tougher infantry, like elite infantry, and giving them sustained hits is a really good way of doing that. Also, if you have them in a transport with a Castellan and the transport gets charged and dies, your infantry get out and you get consolidated into, you have access to fallback shoot, which is insane. So useful. He has 4 wounds as well, so if he overcharges plasma pistol and it goes hot, he's not going to insta-kill himself. Has a power fist for good melee damage. Just a really good model. Next is, I'm going to skip the command squads for now. Commissar is just okay list filler. He's really cheap. This should say cheap as well, actually. I'll just put okay picks, cheap list fillers. Really cheap, 30 points. You don't bring him in to do anything. You just start him in reserve, and he just comes off the board as a secondary. But it's 30 points, so what's not to like, really? Ursulla. Oh, this makes me sad, but Ursula's just overcosted. I don't see why you would bring Ursulla anymore. 85 points for the same stat line as a Castellan. Gives 3 orders, but that means you have to put her in a master box, so like a command squad, to get the 3 orders out, unless you're just sitting her at the back with artillery. The free stratagem is nice, but it's not game breaking, so you have Lord Solar. Good in mech, I think. In every other detachment, I don't see the value, really. Maybe recon. Yeah, just 85 points is too much. Gaunt's Ghosts. I'm going to go A. Better than the Castellan. 110 points is a lot. But they have lone op. They have up and down. So they're insane for doing secondaries. They give 2 orders. So you can just bring them in next to like anything that needs orders. And give them whenever you want, pretty much. They have stealth. They have cover all the time. So if they get shot, if somehow they're way more tanky than you think. There's 6 of them. The bases are a little bit bigger than you want them to be, but it's okay. They have fights first, and they have 2 AP1 melee weapons for some reason, and they hit on 3s. They've got a sniper. They've got an autocannon, which is like AP1 damage 3 for some reason. Really strong model, I think. But are expensive, otherwise they would be S, but 110 points is a lot. Lord Marshal Dreyer. Yeah, this is going to be... Yeah. He's really cool, but he's terrible. He gives 3 orders, but you can only attach him to Death Riders, which is the problem, which means that you're never going to be ordering anything with the orders. They're just redundant. His melee is okay. He's got anti-infantry 4+, like a weapon. It's like a damage 1, but you get dev wounds when you charge, which is okay. But he's just meh, and he like can revive himself, but he's weaker. He's like not as tough as Lord Solar. I think he has like less wounds or something. I'm not too sure, and he moves slower as well. He only moves 10 inches. Lord Solar moves 12, so he's worse at what Lord Solar would do. He's 50 points, he's 100 points, which is yeah, he's just bad, but he looks really cool. Lord Solar. This is hard. I think he can qualify for being an S tier pick now that Ursulla got nerfed, because the old argument was Lord Solar for the CP or Ursulla for the free strat. Ursulla just got 20-point nerf, so it's more obvious you're going to bring Lord Solar. Squadron orders, like for your tanks, harder to get than the regiment orders Lord Ursula does. So 3 of them's nice. You have to bring the command squad and a squad of Cadians, but if you're going to have that on the home objective, it just makes your home objective more secure, so I don't see a problem with that. Good model, 3 redeploys as well. It's actually very helpful a lot of the time. So yeah, strong model, I think. Maybe the bottom of S, but still good. Lehman Russ Tank Commander is... It's not a bad data sheet, but I do think it's so overcosted, it's ridiculous. I think it's like 225 points or something. 235 points. Yeah, man, like you can pay 30 more points and get a Royal Dawn Commander. Like, why would you just not do that? For a worse, like this, it's a Lehman Russ stat line. The Demolisher Cannon got nerfed, so you're paying for the old Demolisher Cannon essentially. Yeah, now Rogal Dawns are in the game. It's just the commanders are in the game. It's just not good. It needs to be 200 points, maybe 210 before I would consider using one. Sly Marbo. Oh, this is a hard one. I think there's just better options. Like, he's infiltrate lone op, but he does basically no damage because all of his range weapons are 12-inch range weapon. He has no invul until he dies. Like, he gets farted on and dies. Like, he's shit. You just infiltrate him onto an objective and you just sit him there. He doesn't do anything else for you. He has like a reactive shooting move, but you have to be within 12. So anything that would shoot infantry that like is near him would just shoot him and kill him instead because he's more valuable than a squad of infantry. Like, I don't get it. You know, actually, now I'm saying that he needs to go in decent, but I think he's still better than a Rogal Dawn Commander. The Premunistorm Priest is absolute wank. Why would you... everything this thing can attach to does not want to be in melee, so why would I attach a character that's good in melee to them? It's just a waste of time. Primaris Psyker is a bad data sheet. Worse than the Royal Dawn Commander. A 4+ invuln sounds really good, but it's only in ranged against range attacks, so what's the point? 4+ Feel No Pain, really good. It's only against psychic attacks, so what's the point? To make her good, you need to attach her to a group of Scions, which are already really expensive. Like, also, you have to do a hazardous test to get the invul, and if you fail, you can one-shot yourself. Same with her ranged attack, you have to use the Dev Wound weapon to do any damage, and if you fail, you one-shot yourself. So what? It's just, yeah, bad. Rogal Dawn Commander, S+. I don't even have to explain this one, just so tanky, does really good damage, has 2 orders, rerolls a hit wound and a damage, which is a really strong ability. Yeah, I mean, not even that expensive for what it does, and its stat line 265. So you take 2 every list pretty much. Tech Priest, I think it's okay. It's better than the Commissar. It's an auto-include if you're bringing a Baneblade. It's very cheap. It gets lone option vehicles, so it can do actions. Do you know what? I'm going to bump it up, actually. It's the bottom of A, in my opinion. It's just I don't have the points to bring them all the time. And I don't like bringing them to just give a Rogal Dawn a 4+. Even though you probably should. Now I'm saying that. But yeah, it's a good model. Lone up is nice, healing wounds is nice. Just, well, yeah. Here we go. Scion Command Squad. It's just majorly over. It's a good data sheet. A really good data sheet, but 85 points is criminal. It's robbery. They like the robbery, really. I'll do Scions as well. Same thing, really good data sheet. Just fucking 70 points for 5 is... If you bring 5 of these and the command squad, it's 220. It's like the same cost as a Lehman Russ commander, and they get killed instantly by anything in the game. They get killed by like 10 intercessors. Yeah. Anyway, are these Cadians? I think they're Cadians. Lord Solar's choice. Yeah, I think they're S+. Sticky objectives. Like 65 points for 10, 120 for 20. 2 plasmas and 2 melters in every squad. You can attach pretty much anything to them. Have OC 2 each. Yeah, they're just pretty strong. Krieg, I'll do Kachans. S as well. They have the scout. They basically are the same as Cadians, but they do less damage because they don't have as much special weapons. But they have scout, so they're really good to just like doing an early secondary, or you can put them in a transport and give it scout. Like it's nothing. That's like pretty good as well with chimeras. They're also really good at move blocking and screening with the scout, which is S. Krieg, on the other hand, are they D or are they C? I'll put them in C. 145 for 20 is just stupid. Like, it's just stupid. Yeah, they got their special weapons nerfed when the Codex came out, so they get the same special weapons as Cadians. But they get +1 to wound and +1 to hit, like in like +1 to hit if they've lost a model, +1 to wound if you're below half strength. That doesn't come up as much as you think because a lot of times after some dedicated fire, you're going to be down to like, you're probably going to be either just take some people are good at know how to. They're not going to leave a Krieg squad on like 8 models. The med packs are really good. But 145 is too much, in my opinion, to bring them. I'm going to skip the transports. I'll put the strike fire in F. Like, why would you bring that? I'll put the demolition vehicle in F. And I'll put the Aegis defense line in F. I'll put the Valkyrie in F and the Wyvern in F. All of these are just useless and they're not fun to use. Like, they're bad and they're not fun to use, even the Valkyrie. So yeah, same with the Manticore. Absolutely horrible, like genuinely horrible model. Right, Rough Riders are I think they're just bottom of S tier. I don't have them, but the melter tip that they get is like a melter gun in melee, and they hit on 3s, so you don't even really need to order them. And they can fall back and charge. They're just so strong. I don't even think they're that expensive. Either, really. They're 60 points for 5. Like, that's so cheap. Like, obviously they're like toughness 4, 2 wounds, 4 up saves, so they're gonna get kicked over pretty easily. But they're so cheap. And they do so much damage. They punch up really well. Good in all the attachments as well, really. Apart from maybe you don't want them in hammer, but yeah. The Basilisk. Oh no. It's just a bad data sheet. I'd say it's better than the Scions. I'd say it's about there. It lost. The problem with the Basilisk is it lost heavy, so you need to order it now, and you don't want to be ordering it because then you have to bring Lord Solar then, and Lord Solar is going to be ordering a Basilisk instead of a Lehman Russ just to get it to hit on 4s against, and it's going to be strength 8, AP1, damage 2 with no rerolls. The other, it has a Chimera stat line, so it's not that tough. Its other weapons are pointless because you're going to be hiding it the whole game. And it lost the -2 to advance when it hits stuff, so it's only -2 to move and charge, whereas before it was to advance rolls. So anything that, like, unless it's about to charge this turn, your opponent will just advance move what they want. If it's like a melee thing, you don't want charging you like Deathwing Knights, they just advance, so who gives a fuck. Anyway, Bulgarin, A tier, I'd say. Probably better than the Castellan. they're just hard to shift, and they are good in melee. It's the only thing that Guard have that does that. 200 points for 6 feels a little on the higher side since you can't order them, but they're just hard to shift, and I feel like everyone underestimates how hard they are to shift as well. 4+ invul, -1 damage, 3 wounds, toughness 6, and there's 6 of them for 200 points. Like, they're going to sit on an objective for a while, and they're going to survive a lot of charges. I think they're only OC1, which is the one downside that they do have. They're going to get out OC'd, yeah. Oh, Field paid 6+ as well, I forgot about that. But yeah, that's the only downside really. The mortars, these are Katachan heavy weapons. I'm going to put them in, okay. Because you're never going to bring the las cannons because the best you can get them to do is like hit on 4s, because you're going to have to hide them, then move them. And yet, I know you get to reroll the wounds and the hits and that, but yeah, as mortars, they're okay if you need to, like, there's a tank on 1 health and you want to like chip it off, because you get to reroll wounds and whatever. I don't know. They're okay. But they're not. After they became 65 points, it's a bit like, yeah, 50 points is like good value, but yeah, 65 is, yeah. I'll do the Cadian heavy weapons now, which are just gonna go and see, purely because they're the exact same, but they have a worse rule. So why would you take them instead of the Katachan ones? Death Strike missile launcher is it passes the vibe check. This needs to go down here. It's not a vibe, it doesn't even look that cool. I'll bring the Valkyrie. This kind of cool model. Yeah, the Death Strike is just a psychological weapon. It does nothing, but it just is huge. So your opponent's like, if it's not been hit by one, I guess they're a bit like, oh shit, this massive plasma AP4 warhead that could do 2 damage to me. Yeah, oh, I'm so scared. And it has to stand still before it can even do that, and you have to aim it, so yeah. Death Riders, I think they would have been down here, but with the points decrease maybe here now. Like, Rough Riders are just way better, but they're cheap, and the reactive move could be good in some situations, but I think they move less than Rough Riders. I might be wrong. I think they're slower than Rough Riders, but they're just, yeah, they're cheap, but they don't do anything. Maybe good for secondaries, I don't know. Field ordnance batteries. I'm going to put it in B. I'm also going to put the Krieg in B, actually, because they are, in recon, you will want them. Field ordnance batteries. They just don't do what they once did. And anything you shoot is going to be taking a save on like a 3+, because they're going to be AP0. In Siege, like, they're a bit better, but Siege is so bad anyway. You're just playing it to spam artillery. I'll just put the other on here. I think I'm happy with that. Maybe like this. The Krieg artillery team is better. The weapons are just better, and they're cheaper. The siege cannon's really good at like killing tanks that are low health, and the heavy mortar, it's like the other 2 weapons are terrible, but the siege cannon and the heavy mortar both are decent, and in siege they're decent. So yeah. What have we got? I have strong opinions on the Hydra. I'm putting in B. It's a Chimera chassis, so toughness 9, 3 up save, 11 wounds. Or 10 wounds, something like that. I think it's 11. Moves 10 inches. It costs 10 points more than a Chimera. It's 95 points, OC3. So it's really cheap. Damage-wise, it does nothing unless you shoot something that flies. because it's anti-fly 2 plus twin linked, AP 1, damage 3. And I feel like there's a lot of flying stuff in the game, especially maybe just the armies I play against. But it's that thing where if I had 95 points after I've filled my list out, I would probably put one in. I would never put more than I'd probably never build around them. But if I had to pick, am I going to get 95 points? I can pick a Krieg artillery team or a Hydra. I'm going to pick the Hydra. Over other things, like, yeah, it's only being 4 shots is the problem with it, I think, because there's just not enough shots and you hit on 4s unless you order it. But there's a lot of times where you'll have a spare order, especially if it's like turn 3 and one of your Lehman Russes is dead, so yeah. Because no one's going to shoot this over a Lehman Russ, like, it's, yeah, so, okay. I'm going to come back to the Hellhound. What are the Kazakin, they've got to go an S+, really, don't they? Now that Scions are shit, they're just the best, one of the best skirmish things in every detachment, whereas a lot of the other skirmish things are better in mech, better in combined. They're good in every detachment. They're insane out of transports. The Melter Miners can be super clutch. There's like, you get 10 guys and only 3 of them have the default lasgun. Like, what the hell? Like, it's like 2 plasmas, 2 melters, a sniper, a fucking melter mine, a plasma pistol. Like 110 guys that can order themselves, so they can go anywhere on the board they want. You don't have to worry about keeping them near your order units. Like, yeah, they always punch up as well. 110 points, and I think the game I played most recently, I killed 4 or 5 Centurions with them, with a grenade. Like, yeah, they're just insane. Krieg Engineers, yeah, I love them so much, but they're just a bit overcosted now, I think. They're 75 points, so the same as Krieg Flamers, I think. Well, it's 75 points for 5, 95 for 10, but you would never bring the 10 because their weapons don't do anything. They're 70 points, not 75. The grenade for 3 is pretty clutch, but you're only going to get to do it once because they'll get wiped out immediately. So, and the remote mine got nerfed, so it's now just D3, I think, instead of D whatever it was before. So it's like, are you gonna do, and it only goes off on a 3+, so 2/3 of the time it's gonna go off. So it's like, are you gonna do enough, kill enough stuff with this 70-point unit? Are you gonna kill more than 70 points with them? And that's not accounting for if they get overwatched, which mine always seem to get overwatched. Like, I would just rather have Krieg Flamers, they're gonna do more damage. Unless you want to charge them into a vehicle, then get some extra melter bomb wounds, but that's, you're not even going to one-shot the vehicle. Unless, I couldn't even one-shot a Piranha with one of these, I'm pretty sure. So what's the point? But they're just, I'm still going to use them every game because I love them. But yeah. Krieg Flamers. I love Krieg Flamers. They're definitely A tier, top of A tier, I think. I mean, the las cannon is like, yeah, it's alright. The Krieg heavy stubber on this thing is actually really strong. So the Krieg heavy stubber does a lot of damage, but it's, I mean, the Krieg flamer, it's a flamer with an 18-inch range, and it's damage 2. Like, why is this a damage 2 weapon? I don't understand. On average, from a 75-point unit, you get 9 attacks, and like, it has the potential to be way more. But you have to think, they can potentially shoot 3 times. You shoot in your shooting phase, then they move and you overwatch them, which you probably will, because it's probably going to be the best overwatch unit in your army. And then they get to shoot when they die. And on average, you're going to get 2 out of the 3 models to shoot. So, like, they just destroy anything that's like toughness 4 or 5, 2 wounds. They just destroy it. In mechanized, they're just so good in mechanized, it's ridiculous. and in combined as well, you're making the flames AP too. Oh, like it's beautiful. Onto the tanks. I'm gonna start with the shit ones. The Punisher. I'd rather swallow a melt on mine than use the Punisher. It doesn't even look that cool, and it's awful. The Eradicator. It's just a bad data sheet. It's not as bad as the Punisher, but like, why would you want one? The Exterminator, I have mixed opinions about. It's the one that buffs AP when you shoot things. If you're gonna use a lot of Rogal Dawns, and you're not in combined arms where you can buff their AP, you probably want one. Or if you're not running Hellhounds to strip cover from stuff, you probably want one. But it's 180 points. Obviously, it's a Lehman Russ. But if you establish a Lehman Russ hull, probably like without the rule or the cannon, probably costs about 130 or 140. You're paying a lot for a cannon that's toughness 9, strength 9, sorry, AP 1, damage 3. She doesn't auto cannon with 4 shots or 8 if you're within 24 inches. It's not that much damage from the cannon itself. So you're paying about 50 points to buff the AP of a Rogal Dawn. It's like, yeah. But it's okay. Good in hammer. I don't think you take one anywhere else, or maybe in Siege, I don't know. But right, Demolisher. It's overcosted now. The Demolish Cannon has been nerfed on it. 190 points for a meaningless rule that allows you to shoot Demolisher Cannon if you get charged, and D6 plus 1 shots on a D6 damage weapon. It's just, yeah. They're more of like a mental things, people are scared of them. But 190, this is the same problem with the battle tank now it's been nerfed. It's an AP1 weapon. The rule is insane. Do you know what? It probably needs to be up here. The rule is insane, but it's 185 points. Okay, now I'm going to put it at the top of C. I think that's where it needs to go. I think this can go here. Here, maybe. Yeah. And these can go here. Yeah, okay. The rule's insane. Still ridiculously good in combined. Yeah, it needs to be up here. Ridiculously good in combined. Probably here. And here. Yeah. Ridiculously good in combined, the Lehman Russ battle tank. The cannon's good, but I don't. It's a Lehman Russ. I'd rather be spending the points to buff it to less CP to buff something else's AP than this thing. I don't want to combine it with an Exterminator. This is going to be AP1. And what you're shooting is probably going to be in cover. If I shoot Custodes with this, they're saving on a 2+, basically. If I shoot Death Guard Termies, or any Termies, they're going to be saving on a 2 or a 3+. Like, it's a really good. It's good with lethals. The lethal hits from combined, but re-rolling lethals is okay. Executioner. I've never tried the Execute. This is the plasma gun one. I've never tried it, but I think it's the top of B tier because it's now 15 points cheaper than the battle tank. Its rule is terrible. You get to add 1 to your hit roll if you're shooting something below half strength. So if you're shooting something below half strength and you give it an order, you can hit on 2s because it's adding 1 to the hit roll, not +1 ballistic skill like the order is. AP3 damage P3 is great at killing Termies. D6 plus 3 shots is not a terrible amount of shots, but it's strength 8. So against vehicles it's useless. But it's cheap compared to the other Lehman Russes. I think maybe bottom of A. Yeah. Vanquisher. I fucking love the Vanquisher. It's so cheap. It's 145 points. I already said a Lehman Russ hull probably costs about 135, 140. So you're paying 5 points for a Vanquisher cannon. It's one shot, okay, fair enough. But you don't bring this for the Vanquisher cannon. It's just a cannon that could potentially one-shot a Ballistus Dreadnought or any 12 wound model. Probably it does 9 damage on average. It's strength 18 twin linked against monsters and vehicles. It's AP 4 or 5, something like that. It's just like, if this goes through, you don't even need to order, like, you can order them, but you don't even need to, because you they're good at just running up in the middle of the board with like any, like, I've used them with triple heavy flamer, like getting rid of the plasma cannons, getting rid of the last cannon, just running them up the board and just being a massive tanky block on an objective, and they're insane at that. They're good at just sitting in the back spamming the Vanquisher battle cannon, like taking 3 of them, because they're cheap as fuck. They're just so cheap. It's just the go-to Lehman Russ, in my opinion. Like, yeah, because like you basically could have 3 of these or like 2 of these. Like, yeah. Okay, Rogel Dawn normal tank it's a strong data sheet, but I think we're fried. I'm gonna do it like this. I think it's 240, so you can have a commander for 25. You don't always need the commanders, but the rule on the commanders is better because this just blocks one attack's damage, which is iffy, because if you're against like a Tyrannifex where it's gonna do like 10 damage to you, then it's insane. But if you're against like Stern Guards spamming dev wounds on you, it's pointless. Yeah, it's a good model. It's super tough, does a lot of damage, but yeah, like your commander's 25 points more, gives orders, but you don't always want the commanders. It's a weird spot, but yeah, not as good as the Vanquisher in my opinion. Yeah, for what the points cost anyway. Not Dead Dog. I can't really be able to explain what he does. He's just an ogre and bodyguard, but he's slightly better. But also, why would you want to spend more? So, I think better options, but overcost. Probably the bottom of that list. He's probably better than Death Riders, honestly. But yeah, normal ogre and bodyguard. I think you can experiment with this. But now Bulgrin have been buffed. Do you want to? Because they just adding this to a command squad just does what Bulgrin does, but now Bulgrin are cheap again, so you don't need it. I think I'm gonna put it here, near the top of C. Just there's a better option. I don't think it's overcost, but it's just better. Better option. Ogrin. Oh, Ogrin. I think Ogrin needs to go here. Not as good as Krieg Flamers all the time, but in mechanized, holy shit, they are insane in mechanized. Like, if you can think of a unit that is just insane in a specific detachment, Ogrin would be number 1 out of probably any guard unit, maybe any unit in the game. They cost 60 points, okay? In mechanized, it's out of mechanized, 3 Ogrin in rapid fire range are gonna kill like 3 intercessors or something like that. In mechanized, they kill 9. So they are 300% more effective, killing, I think, 10 intercessors is 160, 180. 160. So they punch up 100 points. And themselves, they're 60 points. So they're cheap. They work really well with chimeras because of the firing deck. You're going to get 2 models to shoot out of a chimera. So 2/3 of the unit's going to shoot. +1 to wound on them goes crazy. The AP2 damage too. With mech, if you pop the clear and secure stratagem, they get 4 rerolls to hit, 4 rerolls to wound. That the hit one is super important on a model that's got 4+ ballistic skill. They're not that tough, but what can you expect for 60 points? They're just insane. running 6 of these out of I think it's, I can't remember what the mega Baneblade that transports everything, and you can get in and out all the time. Crazy. That is crazy. Also, they're kind of tough for the points cost, like, because they're toughness 6. You have to, your opponent can't just put like super shit chaff to kill them. Like, they're 3 wounds as well. They have to, like, they're gonna end up putting more than 60 points of shooting in to wipe them, for sure. And you have to, because otherwise they're getting back in the transport and just destroying you again next turn. So, I think these are Ratlings. Ratlings, good infiltrate unit. They basically do what Sly Marbo does, but better. They're pretty good. They're cheap. They can move, shoot, move. Like, they can shoot and move. So like, you hide them, you move them, you shoot them, and they're like strength 4, AP 2, damage 2 or something. So they aren't bad. Like, they hit on 3s as well. So they're gonna pick off like a couple intercessors maybe for something that you just infiltrate to do to get board control, block your opponent. They're just a utility piece, but they do damage. Well, decent, like, damage for their points cost. They're not insane. I think probably bottom of A. Okay, Armored Sentinel. It's just, yeah. Losing the 3-mans means for order efficiency they're bad. Why would you want to order 2 of these over Leman Russ? Squadron orders are already kind of at a premium. They're somewhat tough, but they cost 65 points each. So for 2 of them, you could just get, like, what is that, 130? Just basically a Vanquisher for 15 points more than 2 of them, and you're saving, like, yeah, I don't know. I think here seems about right for them. No, maybe that's harsh. Maybe here. Yeah. I just think you need to be able to put them back in 3-mans again, and they need to be maybe keep 1 at 65, but make 2 130, 120 maybe. Anyway, Armored Sentinel. It's just a decent list filler, really. I'd say it's probably the top of, maybe here. I just love the Hydra. 55 points, you're never going to be like, fuck, I've got a Scout Sentinel in my list, I'm fucked. Like, there's things you can do with them in Recon, like where you bring all infantry and you bring 1 of them, and it just sits on your home objective, and now your opponent can't really do the bring it down secondary. That's kind of rogue, but it's got scouts, it moves fast, it's got scout, so it does the same thing as a Catachan with, like, doing area denial early, but it doesn't move block as well. It has a las cannon on it, which has in games, like, killed tanks for me, just 1 of these running around. And its ability's good, but it doesn't happen as often as you think, because it has to be visible and within 18 inches. So, yeah, like, they're good, but I would never start my list with them. Aquilons. I feel weird about this one. I think they're probably the very top of OK. They have a 6-inch deep strike. That's the main draw. But for a Tempestus units like Special Forces, they do no damage. Like, they do no damage whatsoever. Maybe you're going to kill like 10 cultists or 10 guardsmen on your opponent's home objective. They're much better in combined, because if they die, you can bring them back, and you probably will bring them back because of the secondary draw that they're going to bring. The threat to your opponent's home objective they're going to bring, the lethals. The sentry gun is kind of cool, especially if you're dropping them on a unit that is weak. This is very niche, but is weak, but has Overwatch threat, like, I don't know, Fire Dragons or something. Even though they're never going to Overwatch an Aquilon, but, like, because you can shoot the flamer once before you set up, so it's like before Overwatch happens. they get smoke screen, which is cool. But you're never gonna use it on them ever, really. Yeah, I think they're cool. They have a purpose, and they got a points deduction. 100 points seems pretty reasonable for them. I'm never gonna complain. I quite like them. So yeah. Right. I'm gonna talk about the Hellhound. I think it has become an S tier pick, honestly, with the rise of everything else. It's tough, like the rise of points cost and everything else, like the other Lehman Russes and how expensive Rogel Dawns are. I think, because it's toughness 10, I think it's got 11 wounds and it's got a 2 up. So it's pretty tough, like your opponent has to dedicate anti-tank into it. And for points, it's pretty decent. I think it's 120, 125, so quite cheap. It's a scary Overwatch threat. It's a tank, so you got tank shock threat, and it's toughness 10. The chem. Anyone who says bring the chem cannon, I don't agree with them, because I feel like you have to just bring double flamer on it for it to be good, really. It's a 18-inch AP2 flamer, but it's 1 damage. But the ability is really strong. Yeah, I think it's pretty good. I don't think everyone who raves about them is really correct, but I think it's good. I think it deserves probably bottom of S. Chimera. Do you know what? I think before the Taurox nerfs, it's probably down here or here. But now there's 10 points between this and a Taurox. I don't think I can actually separate the Taurox and this. The advantage of this is it's insane in hammer, which is probably why it belongs in A, because you can just make it go like 20 inches, 25 inches a turn with like, it's got a 14 or 12 inch move. You can have 3 inches to move. You can add another 6 inches to when it advances. If you got Kazakin or anything inside a mech, you can give them another up to 6 inches of movement, plus the 3-inch disembark, then plus the range of your gun. You can get across the map and shoot things in your opponent's spawn. It's silly, but it's weak. It dies super easy. 75 points now. Probably deserves to be 75, honestly. But then you think the Chimera is 10 points more. It has the las gun array, it has the heavy stubber, it's toughness 9, 11 wounds, so it's way tougher, and it's like not silly, like it's not a joke how tough it is. Like your opponent can't kill it with shit. It moves 10, which is okay. Like you're probably gonna give it move. It's got a good firing deck. Has 2. You can put a double heavy flamer on it, which is not a joke. I think I prefer the Chimeras over the trucks now. Like I think I would bring maybe like a couple Tauroxes for Kazakin or the Krieg engineers, but I think if I'm gonna put Ogren in something or Krieg Flamers in something, it's gonna be the Chimera. I think it probably is S tier because it's also good out of a mechanized. It's good in hammer, like not as good as this, but it's good in combined. It's good in siege. It's good, like you could even bring one in recon. Yeah, I think it deserves to be up there now. Does it? Do you know what? No, top of A, I think, and this is probably here. Yeah. Taurox Prime has the same issue as the Scions. It's cost too much. It's has a really interesting cannon where it's like 8 shots, but it's twin link dev wounds, so you can get a couple nice dev wounds with it. The rule is nice where it lets the Scions re-roll all the hit rolls, which means they're not reliant to you. It's basically like giving them 2 orders. But the Scions are shit, and you can only fit 10 of these in, so you can't fit a big 15-man Scion blob, so that limits you. and it's basically the same cost as having a Scion Command Squad, where you have Deep Strike anyway, so you don't even really need this thing. Good in mech. When the Scions come down, probably will be good in mech, because you can give them +1 to wound. I think it's not as overcost. Yeah, probably, yeah, I don't know. It's just, yeah. Now the command squads. I'm going to start with the worst, which is the Krieg. You get one more model than the other command squads, but the rule is terrible. One order. They all suffer with the one order problem, but I think with the Krieg, you are still locked to having the Master Vox when you might not want it. It has like better, like yeah. I'm just. Also, the Krieg aren't that good right now. I don't think it's super overcosted. I think it's just better options. Maybe about there. Catachan. These are interesting because you're not going to put them in 10 Catachans and run them around the board. They're interesting because you're not locked with the Master Vox, and you get, I think every model can take a special weapon, and you have Assault. So you can do some nice damage with them for quite a cheap scouting unit. So I think for that reason, they're like, you can experiment with them in mech a little bit. So I'm going to put them here. But for 10 points more, you can... It's like if you finished your mech list, mechanized assault list, and you have 65 points left instead of 75. Would you take these? No. You're going to take 3 Ogren instead, and then just have 5 points. Maybe you've already got 3 Ogren, and you can't take any more. Then maybe you take these. I don't know. But yeah, I mean, these with an Ogren bodyguard could be oh no, then you lose Scout, I think. So never mind, yeah. Anyway. The Cadian Command Squad, I don't even think they're that good. They just are pretty much in every list. Because they have to be. Because you need the orders. You need the Master Box to give the orders out. So yeah. I mean, you have to use them if you use Lord Solar. You have to use them if you're using Creed in the mid-board. Yeah, I mean, the rule's good. Cover on objectives. Is really good in recon. Yeah, I mean, they're a weird one because I wouldn't say they're a strong data sheet, but they're almost required. Onto the fucking Baneblades. I'll just do this quick. Hellhammer, I'd rather swallow a Melamine. It's absolutely horrific. Standard Baneblade. Thing is, none of them are going to be like that high. The Shadows, I'll do Shadow Sword. The Shadow Sword is absolutely wank, but it's... just looking at the Shadow Sword gives me the volcano cannon on it. Just gives me like a volcano cannon in my trousers. I mean, look at that thing. It's fucking huge. It's just a meme gun, but it gets like 2 or 3 shots on average. So good luck getting that through an invuln. I think when you shoot like models with a 4+ invuln, I think it's like, or 5+ invuln, it's like 25% chance to do absolutely nothing. So that's good. The Stormlord. Yeah, the Stormlord in any detachment is terrible. The Stormlord in mechanized is in between okay and good. Because it's still a strong model and you're allowing yourself to basically regenerate the +1 to wound on whatever you put in it every turn and keep whatever's in it every turn invulnerable, which is pretty strong. Maybe the bottom of B tier because of mechanized. Standard Baneblade, I'm just going to put in bottom of C. No, that's maybe, yeah. Like, it's okay, but there's still better stuff. The Doomhammer is just a bad data sheet. It just doesn't do enough. It looks really strong on the data sheet, but when you crunch the numbers, you see it sort of suffers the same as a shadow sword, where it doesn't really do much. It's just good against Satan. That's really the only thing. So then you've got the... I need to check what each of these does. The Bane Ham. I think this is the shit one. Yeah, this is the terrible one. This is as bad as the Hellhammer is. So it needs to go down here. I'd still have this over the Hellhammer, but it's terrible. Then these two are the good ones. Let me just check what each one does. Okay, so this is the Deadly Demise one, the Bane Sword. So, the weapon's good. I think they have to both go in here. No, okay. It can go here. Just below Creed, I think. Because this has basically the Storm Sword has a better gun because it's D6 plus 2 damage, our AP 4. The Bane Sword has just flat damage 4, AP 4, and you're reliant on whatever you're shooting having Deadly Demise. Whereas a lot of times with this, their damage 4, you're going to be wanting to shoot Termies or like Centurions, things like that. Also, not everything has a useful Deadly Demise. Whereas I'll show you the Storm Sword. It has a better ability dealing depth wounds. So it's on a 5+, but it's anything within 3, which a lot of times is going to be 2 things, maybe 3, especially with vehicles which have wide light bases. So just more reliant on dealing a few extra wounds. And then it's D6 plus 6 shots, so 9 on average. Strength 16, AP 4. And unlike the other one, I think this one ignores cover, so it's actually AP 4. I'm not sure if the other one does. It might do. D6 plus 2, and so yeah, it's the most expensive one. But I feel like if you're bringing a Baneblade, you don't really care how much they cost. I'd rather pay the extra, however many 50 points it costs to bring this over a Shadow Sword, which is this one, the cheapest one, because I'm relying it's actually going to kill stuff. And it's still a Baneblade. So yeah, that's the tier list. I don't think I'm happy with it. So yeah.